Any honeymoon period Graham Rix might have allowed himself surely came shuddering to a halt before this one, with just one win in 5 going into the game. So something to prove for the Hearts players, as well as an element of revenge against Falkirk. The home side looked more like themselves as Paul Hartley inspired an early effort that stretched Matt Glennon to the limit. Falkirk, we know, can be clever on the ball, orchestrated mainly by Latipi, and they were helped by less than impressive defending that might have shaken Graham Rix as Darryl Duffy almost took advantage. It was only by the legs of Craig Gordon and good fortune that the home goal remained intact. Sensing an anti-Falkirk bias, John Hughes had spotters in the stands scrutinising the performance of referee Stuart Dougal. Those spotters might have concluded that Stephen O'Donnell deserved a yellow card for his late challenge. And a yellow card is exactly what he received. If Hearts have in the main failed to find top gear since Rix arrived, they were revving up nicely. Hartley and Rudy Scatchell moving smoothly up the gears, Glennon well beaten by the shot and unhappy at the space given to Hearts' top goal scorer. The Edinburgh club had failed to find the net in just 3 league games all season, 2 of them coming in the last 2 games. So if that constituted any kind of mini-crisis, they set about changing that particular statistic and were successful when Paul Hartley got back to scoring form. Hartley well placed to take advantage when the ball came back off Glennon. Hearts ahead, to the delight of their supporters, probably to the delight of Vladimir Romanov as well, although given his comments in the match programme it would be a hard job to read the mind of the Hearts owner. He didn't need to be a mind reader to see a red card coming for O'Donnell after a challenge worthy of a yellow card at least. A second yellow, an inevitable red for the Falkirk man, and his side up against it now. Mr. Romanov decried those who he feels seek to ruin football, from agents to journalists and jealous hangers-on. He claims they are being driven by the devil and is looking for beautiful football and new amazing victories in 2006. The increasingly intricate celebrations suggest he need look no further than Scatchell at the tail end of 2005. This a stunning goal, the earlier miss merely the setting of sights. So 2 down and with 10 men, the situation not a promising one for the visitors, who had recorded just 1 win in their last 7 games. If it looked hopeless for them, they did at least continue to try and come forward, with Latipi's through ball deserving of a better fate. Full marks to Craig Gordon for closing it down, and anyone who doesn't believe Hearts are getting back to the kind of form they showed under George Burley need only keep watching. Defence turned into attack, and defensive mistake pounced upon and punished by Callum Elliott. Merry Christmas all right for Hearts and for Elliott, who celebrated his first goal for the club. It's a shocker for Andy Laurie. Elliott kept a cool head to stroke the ball home. Into the second half, and Falkirk still trying to get forward. Between them, Alan Gow and Duffy worked the opportunity. Duffy inches away from reducing the deficit. However, 10-man Falkirk were fortunate not to lose another player after Daniel McBreen's late challenge on Physis. It was spotted by Stuart Dougal, who might well have been tempted to pull out a red card. It was yellow for the big Australian and a let-off for the visitors. However, it was one that did nothing to alter the situation, and Hearts were looking for more goals. Michael Pospisil had been given a place on the bench after his reported ultimatum to Rix to include him for this game, and while Falkirk managed to get the ball half cleared, they weren't out of danger completely. Robbie Nielsen hanging around the penalty area. He found Pospisil, who found the net, and now it was all over. More of this, and he might force his way into the team. To be fair to Falkirk, only in a 5-0 defeat by Motherwell have they been totally overpowered in their first season back in the top league, and although Pedro Moutinho showed commendable skill and determination, this was really all about damage limitation for them now. Yogi looking stunned in the technical area. He'll have to treat this as just one of those days. The defending wasn't great, Hearts were on fire, and to be honest, his team lost to an excellent performance from the only team that looks capable of challenging Celtic for the title. There's no doubt Hearts will be in good heart for their meeting on Saturday. Only Glennon's fingertips stopped Pospisil, adding number 5. Hearts kept going to the end, helped it would appear by more poor defending. Even when they had the chance to clear, Falkirk were unable to do so. And again they paid the penalty on a day Callum Elliott will remember for a long time. Hearts' 5th goal, a second for Elliott. He made this one look easy. Hearts made the 3 points look easy. This is the Hearts of earlier in the season. Celtic, be warned.
Well, Hearts' Paul Hartley joins us here in the Scotsport SPL studio. That was a result you needed.
Yeah, we've struggled over the last couple of weeks, but yesterday's performance was top drawer, the way we've been playing earlier on in the season, so we're back to our best yesterday.
We've read a lot about the players talking about what's gone wrong in the last few weeks. Did you actually put your finger on what it was?
Just went back to basics, hard work, working as a team, on the front foot, and we did that yesterday. You know, we've got good pace about our team. We look like we'll score goals, but we didn't seem to be doing that. You know, maybe 4 or 5 games, but yesterday everything just clicked into place. And
it must have been difficult losing George Burley, and then you had an interim coach, then a new coach coming in. Yeah,
it was difficult because you know, we started the season that well. You know, the first 2.5 months of the season undefeated, but it's always difficult when the new manager comes in. He's trying to get his own ideas across, but you know, well, hopefully that's you know, we're building towards something. You know, we've got a really difficult game on Sunday, but we're getting to that game with confidence now.
At any point in the last few weeks have doubts started to creep in that maybe things were going to go wrong?
No, I don't think so. I think it's just a wee bit of confidence had went, but we hadn't lost. We'd lost 1 in 5 games, but yesterday has given a lot of confidence going into Sunday's game, and you know, we're getting to it with a good deal of hope.
Well, let's show you the 5 goals that Hearts scored yesterday, and the first one for yourself, Paul, and just a fairly simple side foot on this occasion.
Yeah, I think just I've laid it off to Rudy and he sort of struck a shot, and it's just ricocheted, and you know, I've just followed it up and you know, I can't miss it really.
I dare say you could have, but Andy, that's 1-0 to Hearts. Falkirk then lose a player, but Scatchell, a magnificent finish here.
Yeah, just one of many this season. Terrific midfield player, and my only doubt about Hearts is if Paul or Rudy Scatchell's not scoring, you wonder who is. I know Callum Elliott got a couple on yesterday, but they need a natural scorer, something like that. A ball falling inside the 6-yard box and there's a player there just to knock it over.
And Paul, you were saying to me that's just what Elliott needed.
Yeah, it is. He's been playing really well recently. He just needed a goal, and he's just took a ricochet, and he's finished it. He's finished it well. But you know, I'm pleased for him. He's a terrific kid. He works really hard, and he's got a bright future ahead of him.
Yeah, Pospisil scored the 4th one, and Elliott scoring a lovely goal to finish it off, Andy.
Yeah, great curling shot, and you know, I think his game outside the box has been a lot better. But certainly scoring goals should give him the confidence he needs to bring it all together and make him look as though he could play there every week.
Fraser, I know John Hughes was unhappy about the referee, but let's have a look at this double yellow card for Stephen O'Donnell. We've seen it a few times now, and we can't see anything wrong with it.
No, well,
the decision I'm talking about.
No, we criticised Mr Thompson earlier on. I mean, that's a lunge, it's a late tackle, and I think you can see by O'Donnell's reaction here as he goes across to shoot the goal. He knows it's a bad tackle. He's quite happy with the yellow card, and he's going for the ball, but he's late again there. And I don't think you can have any complaints when you throw yourself into tackles like that. There's no onus on guys in the midfield in Falkirk because they have Latipi there. They've got to go and make tackles, but I thought 2 yellows was fair enough.
5 goals and a clean sheet has set Graham Ricks and his men up nicely for a much anticipated contest against Celtic on New Year's Day. Edgar Jankowskis doesn't score enough, but his presence is so important to the team. His chest control and layoff brilliantly sends Chesnauskis to the byline here, and at other times his one-touch control, strength and pass sets others up in attack. I must say though, I'm surprised he's not scored more often. This type of chance is a snip for a man of his ability. For such a big man, he has plenty of skill on the floor, and his turn on the halfway line here frustrates Kenny Millen to such an extent that he's booked for this lunge. Anyone prepared to go beyond him, as Chesnauskis is here, is likely to be found more often than not. Quick one-touch football will kill most teams, and this rapid passing movement brings Hearts forward on the opposite side. At the other end, Hearts can be proud of their defensive record. There's not much you can do about the quality of passing from Russell Latipi, but Webster and Nielsen, then Webster and Craig Gordon do enough to clear the danger. Look at Hearts' pressing game here. Scally is rushed into a pass by Hartley, Nielsen's on top of Latipi, and the result, a throw-in the last third. With Presley, Webster and Gordon in the side, it's easy to dismiss the input of Robbie Nielsen's defensive qualities. He's always keen to get forward and help out in attack. But first and foremost, his job is to defend. And he does this with a bit of composure. Callum Elliott will take great confidence from his goals, but he lets himself down here after magnificent control, casually giving the ball away. And here he links up with Michael Pospisil, comes across the face, and once again Hearts get the extra man on the opposite side. From Graham Ricks, more applause. Roll on New Year's Day.
Roll on New Year's Day indeed. Paul, you remember we all built up the Rangers game at Tynecastle earlier in the season quite a lot. This one's going to be even bigger, isn't it? Yeah,
it's a massive game. Obviously Celtic have got the gap above us, but no, as I said, we get into the game with confidence, and it's one we're really looking forward to, especially at a packed Tynecastle. Great atmosphere, and no, we're looking forward to it.
Is it one you have to win?
I don't think we can afford to lose it. A draw would still be a good result, but I think we're going to try and go and win the game and close the gap to 1 point.
Andy, it's going to be huge.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. I'm going through, and Paul has assured me I'll get an excellent reception at Tynecastle.
As ever.
As ever. I'm looking forward to it. Hearts in goal-scoring form, and when you see the Celtic game later on, Jim, you can see that they're not at their best defensively, so who knows, maybe a few goals at Tynecastle next week.
Paul, predictions at the moment?
We'll go and try and win the game, obviously.
You will.